batting average leaders are right behind the judge. I don't know if that's on your mind, but like, is that something that you're thinking about at all? Just as we get down here to the end, or just the possibility of maybe ending with the best batting average?
Yeah, I know it's definitely a goal that you have for the end of the season. Just being able to go out there and just be able to compete the best in the game. I feel like the entire season earlier in the year I was trying to compete with him for hits, and then now just the end of the year being able to be up there with him for averages is definitely a blessing for me. I'm excited to compete and keep going, and whatever happens happens. But just going out there and enjoying playing baseball and enjoying this month.
Cots mentioned it doesn't seem like you're slowing down at the plate. Did the time off kind of help at all, just in terms of staying fresh? Or do you feel like that's a big part of it? It's a pretty good step I know at this point.
Yeah, I think it feels a lot better just because once the wrist healed. Obviously, I was in there for a couple of weeks with it broken, but just being able to get that the pain out of the way and just being healed and being able to come back. Obviously with the time off, your body gets a little reset as well. But just being able to get the pain out of that wrist area is something that was big, just because it's kind of main part of hitting is that wrist movement. So just be able to get the pain out of there and just come back, be able to have the body take a little rest and get the wrist to heal and be able to play baseball again.
The rest of the team, the last two games, not necessarily very good. How will you keep your mind set to be yourself and try to separate yourself from all of this that's happening? Nobody else is here.
Yeah, I think you can just control what you can control. I can control going out there and putting together good at-bats, playing defense for the guys on the mound. And, I think you just got really lock in each and every at-bat, just even if you're down, not being able to throw away at-bats and just being able to go up there and compete. I think we play this game to compete against the other guys, and we're facing some good arms on the mound right now, and just going out there every day, just trying to focus up and put the other good bats, like I said.
You guys technically had more hits than the Red Sox did tonight. You had 10 hits in the game. It just seemed like at critical points in the game, you unfortunately couldn't get that timely hit to bust through, break through, get some runs. What do you feel it's going to take to just potentially execute to get that timely hit?
Yeah, I think that just being able to, that kind of goes back to just being able to lock in and be really focused. I think that with runners on base, that hitters tend to try to be ultra focused, and it's not always going to work out. We have runners on base, and it's hard to get those guys in, especially with the arms we've been facing, and we're just going out there every day, just trying to put together good at bats, and it's a hard game. You just got to go out there and compete against these guys.
Thanks, Jake.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.